My name is Jay Varr. You may know me as Dr. Jones on a regular basis. I'm on call. I'm in a hospital setting, so I'm going to flip that in this podcast and consult some friends of mine on different issues that come across the board. Somebody came to me who said they're having a lot of anxiety dealing with success.
He was black.
And now it's time for us to get on call. Somebody came to me who said they're having a lot of anxiety dealing with success. They said they grew up not having a lot, and now that they have some cheese, they don't know how to navigate life, and they feel like it's becoming overwhelming. They stress. They actually want to be put on some medication. So I wanted to talk to some of the experts who might be able to enlighten us on your thoughts. Huh?
He was
Yeah.
African American.
Yeah. Black dude. So Jason, you go first. Jason, go first. What's your thoughts?
It's much easier having money than not having money. Okay. That's my overall synopsis of everything. It sucks being poor. When you got some cheese, you deal with the little bullshit that comes with it, but it's way better than being poor. So, I mean, I'm never going to be down on myself because I have cheese. I mean, because I was way worse off. So that's my thing. And you just navigate how you navigate. Shit, don't pick up the phone.
Right.
See, this thing to do.
I remember a time where people used to always say, and I've said this a couple of times myself, that I never knew I was poor until I got older. Meaning I never knew I didn't have cheese until I got older. So somebody told me that, hey, you're poor. You know, why you don't got the new Nintendo or whatnot. And so then that's when I started paying more attention to it. So, you know, as you got older, did you for his wing, did you feel like you overcompensated when you got a little extra dollars, or what? How did you approach the situation?
Yeah, I think I did somewhat. You know what I'm saying? I think I did. You know what I'm saying? But I do got to tell the truth though. I was just like a sport brat to somewhat. You know what I'm saying? And still, it was like, even though I was a little spoiled, we still didn't have. I knew, and Carl don't know this, but it's like I knew what it was to come home and the lights was out.
Yeah.
And we walked through the door. I'm like, what the hell? My mom was like, you better not say nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying?
We're prideful people.
Yeah, man. My mom used to be like, you better not look. This first thing she used to say, you better not say nothing to nobody. You better not say nothing to your grandma. And guess what? And about 2 or 3 days later, the lights be back on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
I remember those days. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can say like, I know what it is to I was spoiled, but it was like I know my mother was out here doing whatever she had to do to try to get me a pair of gym shoes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Carl had it a little easier than I did. He didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't see we had coupons to go to Hardee's, and they had fish sandwiches 2 for $4. And then my mom would be like, I'm gonna cut mine in half so that, you know, y'all two can eat. You know what I'm saying? It was like we 2 for $4, 2 French fries. You know what I'm saying? Bought a Fago pop, and that was dinner.
Yo, question.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
All right, let me cut to Carl, because Carl is your younger brother, right? Carl is your younger brother. Y'all grew up together in the same household, but he was younger. By the time he came along, you had already been around. So Carl, when we talk about what your experience was like.
So I would say this: Wing is right. Some of the stories he's telling, I was so young, I don't remember, but I do remember enough to understand that I used to come. Wing was out. You got to think Wing is almost 10 years older than me. So by the time I was 5 years old, he was already out of the house. He was living with my grandfather, and then he was by 16, Wing was selling dope in the streets. And so he wasn't home.
His business out there.
We out. This on call. We out here. We telling. We talking. Full disclosure. Full disclosure.
We was already in the streets, but I do remember at times where I would come home and my mom had the fucking oven open to heat us up, right? Because my grandmother, you know what I'm saying, like my grandmother was the person who bought the house for us to stay in so my mother wouldn't move to Dallas. And so with us being there, like my mother had to hold down those utilities. And so my mother, she would tell me, later, like she had to do what the fuck she had to do. Right. And so, and that's how she ended up getting with my stepfather, David, was like, she saw this guy who's getting that bread. And my mom was like, he a good ass man. Let me hop on this motherfucker in order to.
Okay, so look.
Javar, I have a question. Yeah. What was Homeboy's main anxiety around having money? Like that's what I need to understand.
His main anxiety was that he felt like he was losing a part of himself because he was being pulled to another direction that wasn't how he grew up in. Like he was being pulled towards a higher society. Like he grew up in the bottom, now he's being pulled towards a millionaire society. And he didn't feel like, that was something he related with, and he didn't know for sure if that's how he wanted to raise his kids or family with. But yeah. Let me bring it back a little bit. First of all, how y'all drinks looking?
I'm about to go re-up, but I'm very in right now.
I got a fucking Moscow that's like full.
I'm re-ing up, so I'm drinking Hennessy with a little bit of lemon juice. So I'm gonna put a little lemon juice in my Henny. We're gonna re-up. And what I want to touch on, and when I come back, anybody feel free.
I want to get ice.
Tell me, how did y'all get the women not having bread? And now how is it now while you got bread? Now how you getting the women now?
Totally different.
Right.
Hey, you know what's funny? Jason, back in the day, had a statement. I don't know, Jason, if this was back, because I've known you for so long now. I don't know if it was Facebook or MySpace, believe it or not. And you said something, it's a quote. You said, I may be out of shape, but my pockets stay fat. Something to that. I'm paraphrasing.
Stay healthy. I think it was stay healthy.
Stay healthy, yeah. I remember
that from some rap song.
I remember that.
I think that was the Locks. I think that was actually a Locks song.
It's the Locks, okay.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? Even though I'm in decent, okay shape now, but I said, I want to be like that, out of shape.
Well, hold on. Go back. How did you meet Jason? Hold on. You just put it out there. How did you meet Jason?
Through you.
Well, tell the story.
Okay, so I met Jason for the first time. I was actually a senior in high school, and it was my spring break, and I came down to Atlanta to kick it with you and Jason was your roommate.
We was at Morehouse. Was it a spring break? What is it, like a Daytona trip?
Break. Not for real, but my spring break came down, and this fast talking ass New York nigga was like talking super fast. I was like, he's slick as fuck. Like, I got love for New York niggas because they really crazy like Detroit niggas. But yeah, that's how I met Jason.
Was it a Daytona trip?
No, we didn't
go to Daytona.
We didn't make it. That was Burrell. We didn't make
it.
Burrell went.
Okay. Well, anyway, somebody chime in on how you get the ladies when you ain't got a lot.
Yo, it's tough. I can tell you that. It's tough. And my game is as smooth as it comes, and it is tough. And I just couldn't believe how it was a whole new world once you started getting some cheap.
So, Jason, can I piggyback on you, Jason, about it being tough? I remember you being from Detroit, you have all these young, so all the seniors in high school didn't fuck with me as a senior. They fucked with the niggas who were working in the factories, Ford, GM, Chryslers. These motherfuckers were buying them Focuses, Neons. So I didn't have a fucking chance on earth. They were like, you weak as fuck. Like my man working the plant, making 50, 60 grand, and he bought me a Neon. So it was tough as fuck back in the broke days for sure.
And Javar, you knew how it was, man. I was in the, you know what hurt the most was that damn song by TLC, Scrub.
Yeah, it's not like we wanted to be scrubs.
The category they was describing, hanging in the passenger seat ride of your best friend's ride. That was, I hated that ride.
Right. And then we didn't want to be there. We wanted more for ourselves.
It was tough, though. It was tough. But I'll tell you one thing. On the other side,
much better. Much better on the other side.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's easy picking.
Yeah. What you got to say, Wayne?
Yeah, it's much easier when that bread there, when you showing that bread. I remember I walked in the store years ago. This when I lived on Rossiter.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the store buy a bottle, and it was a little Chaldean chick in there, man. Chick came outside, I saw the car. Was like, oh, and I'm like, really? The car doing it?
Yeah.
This had to be like Saturday, Tuesday. I knocked it down. You know what I'm saying?
That
Just
brings
off the
up a
car.
good point, because you didn't even have to have much. Like, that shows you how broke we was, because we had zero, right?
Like,
it's levels to this. You only needed to be on level 2 to interview. So I went from 0 to like level 9. Like, and so I skipped all the, I was just like, you ain't even gotta have shit. You just kill.
Look, I got a question to ask y'all. Now I have kids, and a lot of times I think that, you know what, I don't want my kids to feel entitled. I don't want my kids to feel like, cause I'm doing well, that they automatically get a pass as far as hard work is concerned, whatnot. Now, but I have colleagues. Now, listen, I got colleagues that be like, screw that. You know what? Give your kids everything in the world, and because you worked hard for it. I'm just curious, like, what's y'all opinion on that? Carl, you go first. Carl, you go first. You go first, Carl.
You know what? I think it's growing up. So I've never been with my son's mother. My son is 18 now. So cheers to me for being done with child support on some real shit. Lift y'all glasses up. Oh, yeah. I thought it would never end. But, oh yeah, let me sip on it.
Weren't you have a kid when you was like 12, nigga?
Exactly. I was 20. I'm 38 now. Exactly. Right? Didn't believe in kindness.
Yeah.
So
he turned your ass out. Yo, young ass.
Oh man. So you know what, man? My son is 6'5", about 320, and soft as cotton. And part of that soft as cotton is that he's been spoiled his whole fucking life.
That's your fault. You blame yourself for that?
I don't. I blame his mother. Because, and the reason why is, I've always, not always, but I would say my first 5 years of teaching was in public schools, and then I kind of made that transition into elite private schools. And my son came and lived with me for a year. And when I started putting that pressure on him, he was like, fuck you, I'm going back home to mama. I want to go back to my mama where she let me do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know what I mean? And so I believe that you have to have your kids work for something, right? Some of the richest men in the world are like, I'm not leaving our children with shit. I mean, Bill Gates said he'll leave his kids with a few million. You know what I mean?
Shit, a few million shit is a good start.
Good.
It is a good start. It is a good start. But I mean, you gotta you want your kids to be able to have some type of work ethic where, you know, you're not in a situation where they feel like, oh, mommy and daddy is gonna bail me out.
Hold up, Carl. Let me see. Hold up, Carl. Let me see. What you think, Wayne?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of mixed up, and I feel like we gotta show them, give them what they want, but we gotta show them like I work hard for this, so this is what So basically, the way I try to do it, I'd be like, man, look, if I tell you to get up, we tell you that you got chores to do and you got all this kind of stuff to do. This is what you have to do because this is what we do to give this to you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now in my life. You know what I'm saying? With my older kids, I was like, y'all better get your ass out here. Do it. Right. But now it's more so, your mama just told you to do this. I told you to have the trash cans in. It's not after the video game. It's now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
What you think, Jason? Pre-growth, Jason. Pre-tax, you a millionaire, right? Pre-tax. You a millionaire.
I know I'm not having no soft ass kids. That's all I'm saying.
So how you gonna do it?
This is what your family's for. We all have family in different circumstances. So we all have family in the hood and shit like that, and family. You have to ground these little monsters and bring them and let them go over there and sit in them, let them get their little ass whooped and let them, because if you spoil these kids, they're gonna be soft and they're gonna suck. Yeah. And I refuse to do that. I mean, I don't have any kids, but I help raise my niece and nephew, and I'm hard on them little niggas. But I show them the finer things as well. So we're going out to dope ass dinners or shit like that. But on a day to day, you got to put that work in. I'm going to be an ass to them because I'm not having no soft ass kids who's going to end up living with me for 40 years.
Yeah, because that you know what? And honestly, that's what's going. That's I'm the bad guy in my house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want them to have everything, but I'm still the bad guy because it's like I'm like no, because I'm saying it's like you got to work, do something for it. You know what I'm saying?
This what I do. That's what I do. I tell them all the time, like, look, all this nice shit, this gym, this theater room, this is my shit. This is not yours. This is not yours. Don't go to school. Tell them about you don't got shit. This is my shit. And if you want some shit like this, you gotta work hard for it. Like I did. Like I did.
Honestly, I don't have that much dough. I have enough dough for me to be straight and for you to get a little starter cash. Now, you can fuck that starter cash up and be poor for the remainder 40 years of your life. Right. So, it's what it is.
Right. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, and this is my whole synopsis, what I'm going to tell old boy is that, you know what? If you like a guy like I was, I came up from the bottom. I got it from the mud. I didn't have nothing. And what haunts me all the time is not going back to that. So every move I make, either wrong or right, I don't know if, the mass majority of people agree with it, but every move I make, I'm thinking to myself, I can lose this shit any day. And like I said, maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's wrong or right. But when you raising your kids, that's the whole mentality you should give them. Like, look, this didn't come easy. This came hard. You gotta work as hard as I did if you want to get to this level. You enjoying my success. If you want to have the same shit in your future, then you gotta work hard as well. And leave it as that.
Yeah. Hey, I have a comment. I want to add on to that, Jay. I was just talking to my son recently, and I was telling him, he was talking about, this and this and this. My mama can go to my grandmother, and I said, listen here, my mother's dead, my father's dead, my stepmother's dead, and my stepfather's dead. If I don't make this shit happen, it doesn't happen, right? If I don't fucking make it happen, I don't have anyone else to turn to, right? And I think us as men, we're very prideful to go to somebody, right? I can always go to you, my brother, even Jason probably for a loan, but I'm so prideful in my fucking self. I'm in my fucking self. I'm prideful though, but I was trying to tell my son, like, you can't depend on me to bail you out. I don't have anyone to bail me out. If I don't make this shit happen, then I'm on the streets.
Yeah.
That's the problem with this generation. They soft. And y'all punk ass parents who finally made something, I understand that because y'all struggle so hard, y'all want to hook your kids up and don't struggle like that. And I'm not going to have my kids struggle, but you still got to be hard on them. You can't be no just straight up punk.
Yeah, you still got to show them that there's value in them. It's value in a dollar. You got to work for that dollar. It's value in that. Yeah. Well, I
give it to them, like you said. Like you said, your partner, they just say, "Oh, just give them." You give them what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like not like how you probably like your partners is saying. It's like we giving it to them. It's like
I got a question for y'all. Because I want to touch back on the women topic. How it was much easier once you got the cheese. Is it because you had the cheese and you showed the money, or is it because your own confidence level went up so high that you just had a different swag to it?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think it's the swag factor. I think it's the swag factor. When you got cheese, when you got cheese, then you don't care as much.
You got cheese, you think you're the catch. And when you go to that mentality where you're the one who's the catch, and when you're spitting, that's a whole different game you spit. And everyone
spit a whole different game. You got a whole nother level.
Because who leads with the cheese? None of us lead with the cheese when you're spitting. You don't say, hey, outside I have a Mercedes or whatever. You just spit that, and it's a different aura about yourself.
Hope you guys had as much fun as I did. I'll see you again on Call.